Hey everybody, Kenny here. Welcome back to our Affliction League playthrough. Last time we finished up Act 8 without really too much trouble. Biggest issues for this character so far are damage over time and corpse explosions. Definitely gonna need to get better about recognizing the new animation that they created for that. I know it's like, you know, like the, like basically it's like a fuse effect kind of thing. It pops up, but it always takes me way too long to recognize what's going on. Let's head to the Blood Aqueduct and start making our way to... Like probably in this session, like since we have to do all the lore, probably only be able to make it up to probably the mines. Oh, oh, that's new. First time I've seen that happen. Game crash. Oh, okay. Mind you, the fact that there is an animation for corpse explosion now is an improvement over the fact over how it used to be, where things just used to explode and you have no idea what was going on. But I just have issues recognizing the effect pop up while I'm scanning the screen for coming threats. Now we got a mirror here. Got on accessories right now. Oh, did I not even get one? It didn't roll blue, did it? No. Weird.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Thank you for sitting on top of this guy. Sped things up quite a bit. Ah.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Oh, I see. Like, why are there explosions happening here?
just yet.
Their usual long loading, or is it the bugged infinite loading? Which are you? And I go for about 15 more seconds and then I'll Alt F4. I'm pretty sure it's the bugged infinite loading. Okay. Alt F4 it is. Okay. At least it counted me as having entered the town. Oh. They change how June shows up? I could have swore you had to meet her in the field before she would show up in the town. Weird. Alright, well, as usual, I will be sitting through all of the character dialogue. So, since I have never actually done this for this act before, I have no idea how long it's going to take. So, maybe it'll take less time than the other acts. Maybe it'll take more time. I don't know. But, you want to sit through it? This is your fast forward point.
The dark ember remains nestled deep within the putrid flesh of my dead beast. With many of Highgate's tunnels now collapsed, we must forge another way inside. I have divined one weak point in the beast's flank, an ancient wound wrought by that Varlish overreacher, Doriani. The wound was healed shut by a thick membrane, but the right decoction should dissolve the tissue and allow us inside. Of course, for a cordial of such potency, I shall require 2 ingredients of utmost rarity. First, our viscous concoction shall require basilisk acid, a princely poison which drips from the caustic heart of the basilisk, and Trathan powder, an explosive substance oft used in the mining of virtue gems. With these 2 bitter harvests, I shall brew something worthy of eroding the membrane of my decaying pet. Within the ruins of Highgate Refinery you shall find it. Trathan powder, a slightly more unstable blend to the kind found within the celebratory rockets and illuminations of Trathus. This devious mixture of crumbled chemistry was once used to blast holes through even the thickest mountainsides. It will ensure that our mixture has the brute force required. though one should tread carefully within the refinery. For General Adus and his elite legionnaires sought refuge there during the first moments of Malachi's cataclysm. If they remain, they will be creatures of darkest discipline, strong men in health and life, made even stronger in corruption and death. Basilisk acid drips from the hearts of those venomous monsters, though I cannot blame them for their disposition. They are tragic creatures. Theirs is a sorry tale more closely tied to my own than I care to dwell upon. Alas, the forging of my Dark Ember produced some rather unfortunate byproducts. But we shall not see any success if I am to dwell on those past eras. Goodbye.
I am Jun Ortoy, of the sun-scorched plains of Vestiri. I am investigating the disappearance of several prominent exiles. I have surreptitiously been observing your movements for some time. The way you slew the monster beneath this mountain tells me you are suitable for the task I must ask of you. Wraith is lawless, but it is not without justice, and some here are more deserving of death than others. The missing were good people, capable fighters doing what they could to bring light to a situation mired in darkness. I believe they were taken by a group calling themselves the Immortal Syndicate, and I fear they will not be the last. Scattered across the plains and mountains are small fortifications I believe to be Immortal Syndicate outposts. They have posted guards along their perimeters, so we must be cautious. Seek one out. I will meet you there, and together we will infiltrate it. I'd not believe you if I had not witnessed the boats lurching onto the shores of Wraith myself. So, the gods have returned, and Oriath has fallen. This complicates things, to say the least. Exile, I believe the Syndicate has been planning to form a new government. The Templar were cruel, but at least they were mortal. If the Syndicate's power continues to grow, they will be able to rule Wraith and beyond, without fear of reprisal. And we mere mortals will have no choice but to serve, or fuel, their cycle of death and rebirth. Scattered across the plains and mountains are small fortifications I believe to be Immortal Syndicate outposts. They have posted guards along their perimeters, so we must be cautious. Seek one out. I will meet you there, and together we will infiltrate it.
You can gripe all you want, lover. We can't stay here. Not with all this blood.
Where do you expect us to go, Vanya? We have our whole lives here in Highgate.
I don't know. West, perhaps? The Ezomite lands. I don't care. Just somewhere that has unpoisoned water.
Oh, Beast Slayer.
Good to see you again.
Even if you have happened upon us in a rather unruly time.
Shush now, sweetie. There's no need to bother them with our woes.
Oh, they don't know. I can see on your face you haven't heard.
It's Kira. She's gone mad.
Absolutely bonkers.
She's abducted a Yon.
Stolen off with her into the desert. And to make matters worse...
The whole of Highgate is in a state of disarray. There's beast blood in the water.
Usurpers are eyeing up the throne.
And the old gods have risen. If you want my advice, get out of Highgate.
Or save us.
While you still can.
You must have encountered men and women like us before.
Relic hunters.
Collectors of rare antiquities. Anyway, Vanya and I are the best in the business.
And we need your help locating a particularly rare item.
Sweet, I was working them into it.
It's an ancient sword belonging to the Maraketh goddess Garukan.
The Stormblade, some call it. A weapon carved from crystal, capable of capturing even the most powerful of storms within its rigid edge.
The goddess lost it somewhere in the eastern desert during her ancient battle against the necromancer Suresh and his undead horde.
According to our research.
Find the blade for us and we will make it worth your while.
We do this ourselves, but what with the political unrest in Highgate as of late?
We fear leaving, lest we find the gateways barred and ourselves without a home.
Please, Vanya, don't say it.
Say what? I told you so? Well, I never trusted Kira. Her need to control everything, no matter the cost, was never a trait I held much faith in.
Yes, but ambition is not the problem. I have ambition. Do you not?
Of course, I trust you, sweetie, but you're not about to go killing everything that moves in exchange for a bit of power now, are you?
Well, I'd trade dreams of power for dreams of you, my sweets, any day.
Oh, Pataris.
Irasha? Well, she's the best we've got. Strong, purposeful, an honorable warrior.
I think the description you're failing to provide, love, is stick in the mud.
Stick in the mud?
Yes, as stubborn and serious as they come.
You just don't like her because she treats you differently.
Irasha is a stuck-up elitist. She refuses to see me as a woman.
Oh, sweets. You're more woman to me than all of them put together. I'll let Vanya take this one.
Thank you, love. I trained in Ori.
As a witch. Imagine that.
I thought I was telling this story, Pataris.
Yes, sorry, sweets.
I learned all about the old gods. They were supposed to be our idols, beings of divinity that guided us through our mortal lives.
But they aren't like that at all, are they, love?
Hardly. The gods know better than we are, and nobody that is as bad as us should ever wield that much power.
As bad as us? Speak for yourself. I'm positively delightful.
Yes, yes, you're so sweet they dipped you in a barrel of sugar as a babe. We know.
You must be the outsider, the beast killer. I am Irasha, and while our soft-hearted chieftainess has gone wandering, it falls to me to make sure this Akara doesn't suffer for it. I've heard the stories they tell of you, and I know better than to pluck the feathers from a sleeping rock. Yet, for the sake of my people, I ask that you keep your peace while among us. Our customs have too often been threatened. Your ways are not our ways. Let's keep it like that. Oyun is gone for but a few days, and already Tasuni sniffs at the throne like it's a bitch in heat. Ruled by a man. You need only walk amongst the ruins of Sun to understand that folly. Well, his desires are but wants and lusts while Oyun still lives. One of my scouts saw Kira and her Dekada near the foothills. They had Oyun bound to the back of a rower like a hunter's prize, and the Sekema feather, our symbol of leadership, worn by her captor. Whether Kira works alone or in pack with her brother Tasuni, I know not. Yet I fear she means to sacrifice our Sekema to the vulture of the wastes. Garukan, please, this Akara has helped you in the past. Return our kindness. Free Oyun and return her safely to us. And if this quest is lost, remove the traitorous bitch Kira from this world and retrieve our feather. As long as we have that, the throne of Marraketh will remain safe. No matter where you come from or who you might be, we were all birthed by a mother. Our mothers protected us and gave us nourishment. It is our duty in life to honor that great task. Without a mother, none would tread this dirt today. The most important commandment in our people's tradition is this: honor the mother, honor the life. Arrogant men always seek to control that which they should not, as if that dangling piece of meat between their legs is somehow meant to lead them to power and glory. Men don't have the mind for leadership. Without guidance, they destroy all they touch. Leave the trials of power to women. We, who know how to nurture, how to grow, how to protect. Two of a very few outsiders I've met with like assault. I'm not saying I think they should have as much sway in the Akara as they do, but the fact is, the people like them. Oyun liked them. And despite their clumsy attempts to adopt some of our traditions, I like them as well. My head is still reeling from what Kira has done to Oyun. That bitch looked at me day in and day out and proclaimed herself loyal unto death. She has shown her true face in the end. Once I thought the old gods were worthy of honor, and I can still see how one might think they are boons to be gained courting their favor. But if such favor comes at the price of Marraketh lives, then I spit on the old gods. And Kira as well. May they all rot in the endless desert. I would offer prayers up to the goddess of the breeze as a child, and listen to her voice sing and whisper as she danced through my family's wind chimes. She was my favorite. But in light of recent time, I can only believe that some immortal madness has laid waste to her mind. Through treacherous deeds and blind love, the Gemling Queen has taught us much. Her body remains here, surrounded by flowers, a reminder to all of us that we ought to tread lightly when chasing desire. Who can say, after all, where the line is drawn between bold ambition and foolish pride? My Dakara and I have vowed to protect our people, and so we keep our eyes sharp and our blades even sharper. As such, I have plenty of weapons on hand. If you perhaps needed to replenish your arsenal, I'm sure we can come to some agreement. Though you showed a mighty bravery when you slew that horrendous beast, by the thoughtlessness of your actions you have caused great trouble to fall upon our home. The water runs red with toxic corrupted blood. Now our people must travel far to fill their flasks and feed their livestock. It's as if we're in the midst of a great drought, while the water mocks us from within our own village.
The nightmares are but whispers now, yet like prophets, cowering within crevice and crack. They speak of old gods returned, and the reprisal of an exile to our beleaguered land. My sister Kira has grown obsessed with the vulture of the wastes, our goddess Garukan. Kira has taken Oyun and plans to sacrifice her, imagining she can reforge herself as a Red Sakema, a warlord destined to unite the Marraketh under her bloody banner. My sister's betrayal is too great for forgiveness. Like a rabid dog wandering the mountain pass, she must be put down. I ask this of you, for you are familiar with such barbarism and will not feel the pangs of mercy that I would. On her person, I suspect you will find Oyun's royal mandate, the Sakema feather. If Kira truly wishes to take the throne, she would need such an item to be considered more than a simple usurper. Bring it to me for safekeeping. And please, return our Sakema Oyun to us if you can. If she still lives, that is. But don't risk your life for hers. For I know her mind. She would not want that. Yes, I know of that dark god perched atop your shoulder. His image comes forth in my mind's eye, and I hear the sound of his breath crackle against the coldness of our mountain air. He has a different energy to the other gods revealed in my dreams. Less hostile, more empathetic to the plight which humanity suffers. Should his brethren be left to roam free? It seems, Lord Sin, as if you are on our side. In the twisting, shifting black smoke of my dreaming, I saw the beast, lying slain at your feet. I saw the rise of the old gods, the rigid, dusty remains, springing in sudden haste to life. I saw the growing of their power. As the corruption began to fade, I felt utter anguish, the madness of the beast's last rapid breath. Yet my sight, my power still remains. It would appear that I was permanently marked by its corruption, even as I was birthed from my mother's womb. While now, my mother is no longer around to protect me, and the beast lies rotting in the bowels of that wretched mountain. Why ask me about her? That woman doesn't like me very much, and I can't say I'm particularly fond of her either. She seems to have gotten into her head somehow that I am the epitome of all evil. A selfish, blind villain. Nothing can be further from the truth. Other than the blind part, of course. I suppose Irasha has good intentions. She truly wishes to see our tribe flourish. However, she is too caught up in ancient traditions to see that for us to truly flourish, we must transcend tradition. We must become progressors of the future, not attendants to dry, dusty history. Tortured yet unbroken.
Okay. I think that was slightly shorter than the other ones. Hey, Diala. Yeah. Gotta empty up before we go. Oh, something that I've been forgetting to do forever now that I'm going to do right now before I forget again. I keep meaning to get that less duration off of our flask. Increased evasion's probably pretty good. What else can we get? Hey, that's a good one. That works very well with what we're doing.
What can we do for you?
Just double checking that there's no instilling items in there. I've never seen one in a vendor, but there's lots of stuff that keeps showing up in the vendor offerings that I haven't seen before, so do not want to assume. Pretty good. I won't toss it, but I don't know if I'll use it. Check with the Rasha real quick. Five links or 6 dots. Oh, damn it. Clicked on the entrance before I noticed the mirror. I've been wanting to test if you can bring the mirror into Wildwood for a while now.
How goes it?
Yeah, so it isn't
Welcome.
entering Act 9 that unlocks the next thing. Alright. Guaranteed at least 2. Oh. Both were chromatic orb drops, I guess. If you're a fan of the like the lit RPG genre of fantasy novels, then like, I think I'm about to finish I think it's it's either the third book or the fourth book in the Infinite Worlds franchise. Very good. If you're not familiar with that franchise type, it's like I think of if you have read any kind of fantasy where like there's kind of like really like hard set like rules for like magic and stuff. Think of like that kind of thing, but also like the writer like includes like RPG stat sheets and stuff. Like a lot of times, like it'll be that it'll be like somebody from our world gets like reborn in another world. Like sometimes it's just a fantasy world that is unique to the setting, and the characters are all just from that world, and it's not any kind of like resurrection fantasy kind of thing. No like portal stuff or anything. Yeah, but the basis is just that it's a. Oh yeah, and a lot of times like it's just like an MMO, like a massively multiplayer RPG that like people are like really into, and it's like so like Sword Art Online or something like that. But basically, it's just like they'll actually go through the effort to say that oh, this character, like these are like the characters like levels, skills, stats, things like that. And I've read probably at least like 30 books in that franchise at this point. Not franchise, in that subgenre at this point. Like, there's quite a few that I recommend. My favorite is Divine Apostasy by the author AFK. Which obviously is a pen name, but... Or actually, if that isn't a pen name, then that's just like divine providence. And that one, like in my opinion, that one's like the best in the genre. But Infinite World is very good. Like my one issue is that it's like the writer. Like I'm assuming that the writer does it because like they feel like it's like their writer voice or something. But like they combine characters' perspectives a lot. So like you'll be like in the middle of like one of a scene where someone is like describing what's going on, and then it'll shift to another person who's in the same scene who's describing like the same thing. But like they won't like do anything to really the writer won't do anything to really say like, oh, this character said, or like to kind of like differentiate. So you have to like so a lot of times like sometimes like there'll be like 3 or 4 perspectives in the same scene, and the writer will do nothing to like I mean there'll be context for you to understand that it's a different character, but but the author won't go and explicitly say that it's a different character talking now. So 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 you'll have like, so you'll be looking, so you'll be reading like a thought process going on, and then a different thought process going on, and you have to like use your judgment based on what's already like what you know about the different characters to go like, okay, it's this person talking right now, or this person thinking about this right now. It's not the character that was just thinking about this. Yeah, but the stories themselves are well told, and they're very deep characters in that. You have to go through a lot of effort to like really build up like who the characters are.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Hey, nice, very cool, very fucking cool. All right, so you live on the floor now. I gotta grab all of those. Yeah, I'm missing one spot. I have to come back for these. I mean, obviously, a Lordly plate isn't going to be good for this character, but definitely go with that for Standard League. I may need to chaos that a bit.
Can we be of help?
I'm not up to that just yet.
Hate these stupid things. I'm not sure like what it is with these guys. Like whenever they're empowered, like they always have so much health. I mean, they're casters. Why is it these casters always have so much health when they get empowered? Because you know, 'cause it's notable. You know, you notice like how much more health these guys have than everything else. Like when they're empowered. Either that, or they just have like crazy damage reduction. One of those two is the case. Like those guys take as much time to kill as the big like worm things when they're empowered. Yeah, which syndicate thing's gonna pop up?
I'm not up to that just yet. Is there no syndicate thing here? Not seeing them. Like I should be seeing them on the map. Should show up with the that the orange symbol for unique enemies. Oh, here we go. Over there.
That would only slow me down.
Yeah, let's go empty out so we can grab that quest and pick up whatever veiled items get dropped by the Syndicate.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, got one of them. Guess the other one ran away. I'm pretty sure I saw two. Are you stuck on the thing? And not actually talk to you? They placed her in a way where I can't actually talk to her.
Welcome, mate, friends. Yeah, find things out. Everybody loves old Gov. Well, you get information and I get to live. So what you say?
Yeah, so we will be bargaining with you.
Keep your word or lose your head. Hello. I've spent some time around powerful magical objects. There are some whose magical properties are obscured and tangled, trapped and restricted by a curse placed upon it. I cannot restore such items to their original glory, but I can at least break the curse and release some of its power, if you bring it to me.
Yeah, I'd like to unlock focus early, but this is a good one.
I give you to the earth.
Ah, this guy's got siphon flasks. You bastard. Let's go get our scorpion.
I'm not up to that just yet.
What's this guy doing here? Right. Need to bring them the sword before we can do that. I need to give them the sword so we can get the other MacGuffin to open the way.
In the Marraketh Desert, an oasis lies to the east. Its waters shielded from prying eyes by a preternatural storm. The sand will rip the very flesh from your bones, should you be so foolish as to enter into its dark shroud. Yet enter you must. The goddess Shakari hides within that golden blizzard, festering with revenge as she resurrects and rebuilds her ancient army. An army that once threatened to shake the very balance of these lands. Should she be allowed to revitalize her troops, the whole of Marraketh will finally fall under the cruelty of her selfish reign. The storm is impenetrable for now, even to the likes of me, but there must be a way in. These Highgate locals, they have an affinity for the desert and harsh weather. One of them may know of a way to disperse the storm. A traveler on the winds, Garo-Khan pridefully plundered the sky for its secrets. To her mind, wisdom could be found in the eye of a hurricane. Please understand that Garo-Khan is not an evil being. She was once my friend and companion. Her beauty astonished me as her aspirations inspired me. Yet I must forgo my sentiments for the sake of humankind. Like winds erode the sandstone, Garo-Khan has been warped by the same powers she enslaved. This is not my goddess that you shall slay. And continue to say it, I might very well come to believe it. I weep for my poor Garukan. Together we experienced the loftiest moments that this world could offer. Alas, it was my heavy heart that she could no longer bear. I knew her pride would one day be the storm that would ravage my precious humanity. In truth, it was for Garukan that I sowed the dark ember within the depths of Highgate. When love cannot be slain, it must be laid down to sleep. It is not something I deign to speak of often, but this goddess, this creature, she was once the flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. I rose into the clouds and fell into the arms of their queen, the beautiful Garukan. Now, if you think that mortal marriages are difficult to navigate, try an immortal one. We parted ways, yet not before my young queen of the sands was born into this world of filth and horror. Now you see how I must suffer for the sake of humanity, to lay mine own daughter upon the sacrificial altar. Goodbye.
Some of the members we have come across, well, they have come back from the dead. I don't have any better way of putting it. They are no mindless zombies. Somehow, they are returning, whole. This must be why they call themselves the Immortal Syndicate. Immortality is dangerous, even in the hands of those with good intentions. Do I really need a reason? For what reason did you help the sick and dying in Lion Eye's watch? We do these things because no one else will. We do these things because the world has enough pain in it already. Would you have me sit idly by, watching the few good souls left on this wretched stretch of land fall into the shadows? Creation cannot occur without destruction, nor destruction without creation. Light and darkness, the two must coexist. One cannot be without the other. But forces work to break Rayclass' already precarious balance. And who but us can put it right? Be careful.
You did it! They found it, Bataris! They found it!
By the gods! Garukan's famed Stormblade.
Do you know what this means, my sweets? Once we find the right collector...
Oh, we can go anywhere. Have anything. We will be like royalty.
But the storm inside is a problem. It's too volatile in its current state.
You're right. We can't trade away a weapon of such apocalyptic nature.
This will require some pondering, my love. In the meantime, thank you, Exile. Take your pick of our stock.
This is all worthless to me. Thank you.
Have you ever heard much of the Maraketh legends?
A truly unique cosmology of strange creatures, pagan gods, and powerful treasures.
One such story talks of a magical stone dial.
A Maraketh calendar, said to detail important events in the future of our world.
General Adis, a war hero of the Empire, reported in his diaries of discovering a dial meeting that description at a dig site somewhere in the foothills.
It appears the war hero had a secret penchant for archaeologies.
But the cataclysm wiped the land clean and buried the dig site in rocks and sand. No one has been able to locate it since, nor the stone dial.
Seems that with everything that's been going on of late, knowing what's due to happen in the future could be a fairly profitable ability.
We know you would never have use for such a gift.
It would remove all the enjoyment out of adventure for someone like you.
Yet, in times such as these, us small folk could do well with a heads up if something particularly nasty were to occur. Besides, a relic like that should sit in a museum.
Or our collection.
Not be lost beneath the rubble where it benefits no one.
If you were to track the calendar down for us, we would pay you handsomely, Exile.
Yes, we are traders of antiquities after all. Well, it took some time, but thanks to our Maraketh neighbors
And their ancient traditions.
we managed a strain of thaumaturgy to remove the storm from Garukan's blade.
We even bottled it for safekeeping.
We'd rather not trust anyone with this sort of power, but perhaps you can use it to clear away that sandstorm in the desert?
Find out what sort of nasties are hiding out there in the desert and put a stop to them. Be careful.
Alright, got our MacGuffin.
When I received my first flower of blood, I was given to the ritual of womanhood. All young Maraketh women have to dance with the scorpion to prove themselves worthy of carrying the Dakara's spear. It is no easy task to catch a black Maraketh scorpion. Their tails are swift, their stingers sharp, their poison lethal. I made my way through the trial unscathed, but my sister, we shared a womb, came into this world together. She left it, thrashing and foaming at the mouth. Since that day, I have slept with one eye open for fear of the scorpion's sting. And now Shakari, the mother of all black bugs, rises from the sands. Find that scuttling bitch and kill her for me and for every child, every little girl who has suffered and died by the barb of a countless poisoned tails.
Alright. Right.
Yes,
Immediately sell this. Oh.
a noble legionnaire.
But a legionnaire all the same.
Pataris and I did our research on Adis
We needed to know as much about him and his dig site as possible.
to make sure he was worth our while.
The general was an eternal commander of the Highgate Legion.
He ran a mining camp up here in the mountains. The bastard was the one responsible for controlling Karui, Maraketh, and Ezamite slaves, forcing them into the black bowels of rockfishes in search of gems.
At least he treated them fairly and as human beings.
A slave is still a slave, my sweets.
For all his faults, the general appears to have been a good man for his time. It's a shame what happened to him. An even greater shame that by the sounds of things, he's come back.
Yes, we'd advise steering clear of his old camp.
Purger of corruption.
Alright. Now we can go and use our MacGuffin. Oh, area reset already. Ah. I'm changelings.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Hello.
Exile, I fear I have not been entirely honest with you. This dusty pit was once the Forbidden Vault, and I its guardian. That you have not heard of it is not surprising. It was kept in absolute secrecy for countless generations, known only to my Alkara. The Order of the Jinn. It feels so strange to tell someone. To speak so plainly would have been a sin of the highest order, punishable by death. It seems harsh to an outsider like yourself, but you do not know the importance of what we did. My Akara, my people, were long ago tasked with protecting the people of Wraith from themselves. Many artifacts of great power exist. You have come across some such in your travels. But there are some artifacts whose power is so great that to use them would put the world in jeopardy. Artifacts like the Horns of Kulamak. We, the Order of the Jinn, existed to keep such power sealed away in secret. Better that the world forget that it and we exist than fight for control of a power they have no hope of controlling. You have not heard of us because you were never meant to hear of us. I say us. In truth, it is just me left. We came from all walks of life, but we were all orphans, taken in and raised by the Order, and taught never to speak of it under punishment of death. It sounds harsh, I understand, but such was the importance of our duty that a life of solitude and secrecy was necessary. For hundreds, maybe thousands of years, we remained secret, until Giannis Parandus, that imbecile, he sold us out. Reaching for the last vestiges of his ancestral glory. Just like his great-grandfather Chittus, he may have doomed us all. We were only taught what was passed down for generations. We believed the horns to be the ultimate tool of life and death, capable of siphoning the very breath of life from any living thing. We do not know where it came from. Perhaps the remains of a powerful long-dead animal. Perhaps a creation of the gods themselves. Regardless of its provenance, I believe the horns are what have given the Immortal Syndicate their miraculous ability to return from the dead unscathed.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Rest, my child. Be free from the torments of immortality. A mother's keen heart shall bleed into the dreams of her daughter. Once a beauty who held captive the hearts of men and women alike, Shikari's splendor decayed into lust for the power possessed by her skyborn mother. My daughter once sought out such power within the great sands of this desert. Ever determined, she found it, and it made of her the twisted creature you so mercifully dispatched. Driven by agony and shame, she built an army out here in these sweltering lands, and would have conquered the very sky had not the beast soothed her into peaceful oblivion. A babe once more, sleeping in her cradle.
I don't feel good about this one.
Yes.
Until next time.
You killed Shikari. My sister's death has finally been avenged. Shikari was supposed to be our divine teacher, said to guide us into womanhood. All she ever gave was death. I suppose it's fitting that the teacher has learnt that mortal lesson for herself. Our whole lives, we have lived for the blessings of our goddesses. Yet here they are, in the flesh, proving to us that they are only monsters. Please, let me reward you for your efforts.
Hey, finally got Nico.
This'll do not be the Exile.
Savor the sand that stings your face. It is a reminder that I still let you live.
Good find, Exile.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Here's this last one at. There we go. And we were at 500. We can do delve.
Welcome.
Do you need help with something?
That's actually pretty good. That's not. Is a chaos worth it? Chaos for 7 jewel orbs. We've only got 22 chaos right now. Yeah, so for 7, it's not really worth it. Got our points to spend. Now we're going to be working on our flask stuff. So, better increase duration. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so now we've got 40% increased flask duration. So should I go for this? I think I should get for this first, though. Yeah.
Hello again, local.
Okay, so stack deck. Armor. Yeah, these aren't good. Like, the only reason I'm even going to bother doing this is just so I can get more artifacts to trade. Give me your calendar. Thank you. And so can't quite get to there. We can get to this one, which turns off a bunch of our damage, so I'm not going to bother with that.
never against treasure. Not today. In a gambling mood?
Let's go get the basilisk venom and then get into the mine.
Yes?
Traveler.
I'm not up to that just yet. I give you to the earth.
Yeah, it's the first time that I've ever been able to pick that up immediately. Every time I ever kill this thing, my bag's always too full to pick that thing up. I'm pretty sure the refinery requires going into the mine. I'll do a quick run from end to end just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that I need to go into the mine to get the refinery.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely not from here. I was pretty sure that was the case, but, you know, as I mentioned before, I completely zone out when I do these when I do these acts.
You have done well, but our concoction requires both acid and powder. Return to me when you have collected the second partner in our corrosive duo.
Ah, our relic hunter returns.
You could make a regular go at this.
How about it, hero? Leave behind your warmongering ways and work for us.
No? Well, never mind. In any case,
Here's that reward we promised.
Okay. Want to bother heading in here? Not really. Nothing new will show up in there until we've made progress.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Because I know how much progress we need to make. I think that was the furthest that I've ever been able to go in one direction before.
Fear gnaws at the entrails of the faithful and the faithless alike. Fear of the unknown, fear of the future. An empire requires leadership that can assuage those fears through example, through wisdom, through strength. An emperor lights the way through the darkened caverns of uncertainty. An emperor must bear two blades, hope in the left hand, surety in the right.
I'm not up to that just yet.
So I think we get to the refinery from the quarry. Not, then I'm gonna have to go back to the Oasis, maybe? I'm gonna put my hex on. There you are. Oh. Hadn't had my flask on this whole time. Not my flask, but my tincture on.
Hurry! There are monsters about!
Yeah, this isn't a great configuration. Guess we'll start from this one and then move the other way.
for a deal?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do anything of value. Maybe next time, Rog. Actually, I'm just noticing we're already at 2 hours, so I guess I'll go back to town and call it here.
Not up to that just yet.
The next time we'll go and do Garuka called the refinery. Yeah. Do the refinery, Garuka, then head into the beast and finish up the act.
Hello.
What can we do for you?
So close. For an open suffix on this, it'd be a very good thing for us.
See ya.
Okay. For this session, as of this recording, my last epoch, new player guide, and my first build video have gone up. Like, my first build video for last epoch is very different than what I do for my my Path of Exile build videos. Like, they're they're more how would you say? For the Path of Exile, like, I actually show, like, you know, like, oh, this is like the gear I use, these are the passives, these are the gems, all that kind of stuff. For last epoch, I'm doing more of a I'm not even sure how to describe it, because like, I'm basically doing like little mini movies, like, you know, like little like dramatized shorts about like the build. But they're very different than what I normally do. But my Sentinel one is up, and I'm gonna be working on my Spellblade video, and like, I'm gonna, but this is the weekend of President's Day, so I have Monday off. So I'm gonna try to get at least 2 of those done before by Monday. But obviously that'll be. It'll have been the Monday before this video goes up. But again, I'm like these take a while to finish. Like they're like with my Path of Exile build videos, I usually knock those out in like the actual recording. I usually knock out in like 20 to 30 minutes. And then sometimes longer, but then I edit them down and the whole process usually takes only a couple hours. But for these, again, these require actual planning out of shot compositions and stuff. Since like I said, they're more artsy, I guess. I'm not any kind of cinematographer or anything. I didn't go to school for that. But I have an idea for how how to make them seem more dramatic. But they end up very short. My Sentinel build video is only 3 minutes long, 3.5 minutes long. And they're probably all going to end up being that short. Just because, I'm not spending time on, these are, this is what you want to focus on when you're making your loot filter. This is what you want to focus on when you're making your equipment. This is what you want to focus on in the skill trees. I don't do any of that. I go and I do, show, a little snapshot of those things, but I don't actually talk about them. I just do dramatized references to them. So if you're interested, go check that out. Surprisingly, my new player guide and my Sentinel build video actually took the same amount of time to make. The new player guide is over an hour long, and the Sentinel build video is under 4 minutes. But they both took me a full week to finish. New player guide took a week because it was very labor intensive. And the Sentinel one is because I had to think up little phrases and stuff to describe how each part of why this is the next thing, and how to say it without going into gameplay terms and stuff like that. Yeah. But that's gonna be it for this one. Everybody for stopping by and checking me out. Enjoying the playthrough and appreciate doing all the YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. But next time, stay Victus, Fires in Numeris, and bye.